Los Angeles, January 13th, 2015. It was a Tuesday, just after 9 in the evening. The kind of unremarkable night that you forget the moment it's over. For Clara, it was the end of a long day. She was standing in her bathroom, getting ready for bed, going through the motions. Brush teeth, wash face, stare blankly at the woman in the mirror. Except, tonight, something was wrong. Utterly, fundamentally wrong. She raised her hand to splash water on her face, but the woman in the mirror didn't move. Clara froze, her hand hovering inches from the faucet. Her heart started a frantic, uneven rhythm against her ribs. She stared, wide-eyed, at her reflection. It stood perfectly still, a frozen statue of herself, its eyes fixed on her. This had to be a trick of the light, a symptom of exhaustion. It had to be. Slowly, deliberately, Clara lowered her hand. The reflection remained motionless. She took a hesitant step to the left. The figure in the glass didn't budge. A cold dread, slick and oily, began to seep into her veins. She could see the room behind the reflection, the tiled walls, the shower curtain, the slightly ajar door, perfectly normal. But the woman wearing her face, her pajamas, her very identity, was no longer her puppet. It was a separate entity, trapped behind the silvered glass, and it was watching her. Clara's breath hitched. She tried to rationalize. Maybe it was a hallucination. Stress could do strange things to the mind. She'd been working too hard, sleeping too little. She squeezed her eyes shut, counting to 10, praying that when she opened them, everything would be back to normal. 1, 2. The silence in the room was deafening. 7, 8. Her pulse was a drumbeat in her ears. She opened her eyes. The reflection was still there, still motionless. But something had changed. A subtle shift in the expression. A tiny, almost imperceptible upturn at the corners of its mouth. And then, it happened. The woman in the mirror, her own static image, smiled. It wasn't Clara's smile. It was a slow, predatory curving of the lips, full of a chilling, secret knowledge. It was a smile that said, "I know you're there. And I'm not you anymore." A scream lodged itself in Clara's throat, a raw, primal sound of pure terror. She stumbled backward, away from the mirror, her body trembling uncontrollably. Her mind was a whirlwind of denial and fear. This wasn't real. It couldn't be. Mirrors reflect. That's what they do. It's a law of physics. But the law had been broken in her small, dimly lit bathroom. The reflection's smile widened, showing teeth. It then tilted its head, a slow, curious gesture, as if examining a fascinating new specimen. Its eyes, her asterisk eyes, held a gleam of intelligence, of malevolence, that Clara had never seen in herself. The thing in the mirror was sentient. It was aware, and it was enjoying her fear. "Who are you?" Clara whispered, the words barely audible. The reflection didn't answer, of course. It just kept smiling that terrifying, alien smile. It then raised its hand, not mimicking her this time, but acting on its own accord. It slowly traced the line of its jaw, its movements fluid and deliberate, its eyes never leaving hers. It was an act of casual ownership, claiming the face that was once hers. Clara felt like she was losing her mind. Was this a dream? A nightmare? She pinched her arm hard. The sharp sting of pain was real, grounding her in this horrifying reality. She wasn't asleep. This was happening. Her gaze darted around the room, searching for an escape, an explanation, anything. The world outside the mirror was normal, solid, real. But the world inside it had become a prison for a creature wearing her skin. She was trapped on the outside, looking in at a monster who had stolen her image. The reflection took a step forward, its form pressing against the invisible barrier of the glass. It looked like it was trying to push through, to cross the divide between its world and hers. The smile was gone now, replaced by an expression of intense, hungry concentration. Clara knew, with a certainty that chilled her to the bone, that it wanted to get out. It wanted to switch places. Panic gave way to a surge of adrenaline. Fight or flight. She couldn't run from her own reflection. So she had to fight. She had to destroy it. She had to shatter the prison. Her eyes landed on a heavy glass perfume bottle on the counter. Without a second thought, she grabbed it, its weight feeling solid and real in her trembling hand. "Get out of my face!" she screamed, her voice cracking with terror and rage. She drew her arm back, the reflection watching her every move, its expression unreadable. For a split second, she hesitated. What if breaking the mirror made it worse? What if it freed the thing? But the alternative, living with this doppelganger watching her every move, was unthinkable. With a final, desperate cry, she hurled the bottle at the mirror. Time seemed to slow down. She watched the bottle spin through the air, a projectile aimed at her own face, at the face of the creature that had stolen it. It struck the glass dead center. The sound was explosive, a sharp, deafening crack that echoed in the small bathroom. The mirror didn't shatter into 1,000 pieces like she expected. Instead, a web of fine, spiderweb-like cracks radiated out from the point of impact. The glass splintered, fractured, but it held together. And through the fractured surface, something impossible happened. Her reflection didn't disappear. It didn't break apart with the glass. It was still there, whole and unharmed, looking out at her through the shattered mess. The cracks ran across its face, its body, distorting its image into a grotesque mosaic. But it was undeniably still there, and it was no longer smiling, it was laughing. A silent, mocking laugh that shook its shoulders. Clara fell to her knees, the last of her strength leaving her. She had failed. Breaking the glass hadn't destroyed it. It had only broken the cage. The reflection, now a fractured but complete image, placed its hands on the inside of the glass, its fingers pressing against the cracks. It was testing the boundary. Pushing, she stared, mesmerized by the horror. The cracks in the glass began to glow with a faint, silvery light. The pieces of the mirror trembled, vibrating as if under immense pressure from within. The silent laughter of her double stopped, replaced by a look of triumphant effort. It was coming. It was breaking through. And in that final, horrifying moment, as the shattered glass began to buckle and warp, a single thought echoed in Clara's mind, a chilling epitaph for her sanity: sometimes your reflection waits for you to break first. And she had broken. The mirror held, but she was shattered. The last thing she saw before the darkness took her was her own hand, her other hand, reaching out from the broken glass to welcome her in. Thank you so much for watching. This story is a reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we see in our own reflection. If you enjoyed this journey into the shadows, please hit that like button and subscribe for more tales that question the reality we think we know. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a new story. Stay safe and always be careful what you see when you look in the mirror. See you in the next video.